Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the GM. It's your guy Boulanger. Up next in this video, I'm going to be playing with an idea that's futuristic about 2024 and an Odell Beckham Jr. impact. All right. And that idea is, could the Odell Beckham signing trigger Rashad Bateman becoming trade bait in 2024? Now, let's be very, very clear. I haven't read any articles. I haven't heard any reports. This is just purely interacting with subscribers and people who make comments. This idea was prompted, and I said, you know what? Let me ponder it. Let me ponder, could Rashad Bateman be on the trading block in 2024? And so I went to work with it. So here's why I say this, and then I'll give you the Odell Beckham factor. Okay. The first reason why Rashad Bateman could certainly be on the trade block in 2024 is because he's a first round pick. Now, I know that doesn't make any sense, but we understand that the Baltimore Ravens have been willing to part ways with first round picks in the EDC era. C. Hayden Hurst, C. Marquise Brown, C. Patrick Queen, although he's still on the team. We've certainly heard some rumors about a potential trade. And I know rumors uh, can't really be banked on, but I'm just saying we got two first round picks gone. We have a rumor about another first round pick, and then there have certainly been rumors around Lamar Jackson being moved, so on and so forth. And so there is a tendency. Okay. I'm not saying there's a likelihood, but there is a tendency for the Baltimore Ravens to be okay with moving on from first round picks for other draft picks. Okay. And so that's the number one reason. Number two, um, is that Rashad Bateman probably put himself in EDC's crosshairs in March when he blasted EDC for his comments about needing better wide receivers. You certainly know that that had to go down very poorly with EDC. There's no talk that they had a conversation. There's no talk that they hashed things out. But you know that that did not go over well when a player openly and publicly criticizes the general manager. So that's number two. And when I give you these reasons, it's not in an order. It's just one, two, and a third reason. Rashad Bateman, at the end of the 2023-2024 season, will complete his third year and will be up for a contract extension. Okay. And that is prime time for the Ravens to move on from those first round picks. Okay. So, number one, he is a first round pick. Ravens have moved on from first round picks before, especially in the EDC era. Number two, he probably put himself in the crosshairs to be moved after he blasted EDC. And number three, he will be completing his third NFL season this coming year. And that is a prime opportunity to move on from a player. All right. Now, if we take that into consideration, that would be all on the Baltimore Ravens side of things. Now, let me give you the Odell Beckham factor. Okay. So we know that the Baltimore Ravens have been in talks and in pursuit of Odell Beckham for a while. Who really knows how long they've been pursuing Odell Beckham, whether it was 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, or hey, maybe a couple of years. You never know how far this thing goes back. Okay. But no matter the time that they've been recruiting Odell, he finally got in-house. Okay. And we know that he signed a 1 year, $18 million deal with $15 million guaranteed. And then $3 million of that to get up to 18 is incentive laden. Okay. Now, the reason why that is the Odell Beckham factor. Here's why. If Rashad Bateman is up for a contract extension at the end of 2023-2024 season, what Baltimore Ravens wide receiver has the newest deal? That would be Odell Beckham Jr. And we saw the Ravens be willing to give him $18 million with $15 million guaranteed. So do we suppose that Rashad Bateman takes a hometown discount? Are we to assume that Rashad Bateman doesn't look for the most money he can receive as a player? In fact, forget a player. As an employee working at any place, I want the most money I can receive for the work that I do. And so now Rashad Bateman, see, he hasn't had a team example before. See, there was no wide receiver that the Baltimore Ravens have really paid like this in recent years. Okay. Now he has a firsthand example of what the Baltimore Ravens are willing to pay a wide receiver. So now let's fast forward. Let's say the season starts. Rashad Bateman does well with Odell Beckham as a teammate. Let's say he has a good year. Hypothetically, let's say he goes 60 catches, 950 yards, 7 touchdowns. I'm just putting some numbers out there. That's not a projection. That's just me thinking out loud, okay? That's a pretty good year. And let's say he stays mostly healthy. Let's say of 17 games, let's say he plays 15. That would be a huge step for Rashad Bateman, who in fact has #1 wide receiver potential. He has the height, he has the size, he has the catch radius, he's a good route runner, and he's certainly going to learn something from Odell Beckham in all of those areas. Stay with me. So he has a good season. Now he becomes eligible for um, a contract extension. Well, he's not hearing any lowball deals. He's just not. No player is, especially when it's their first contract. And so if he's not willing to take a hometown discount, and of course, like always, they can certainly use injuries um, as a factor to give him a lower offer. They could certainly meaning the Ravens could certainly point to his comments this past March as a factor to, give him a lower offer. They could use performance. He didn't go over 1,000 yards, and this is his first productive season. So on and so forth. They could use all of those things, but yet and still, he's gonna want an adequate contract, right? And so we know that when it's time for a guy to get paid, especially if there has been any disgruntledness, that's not a real word, but I just made it up. If there's been any kind of controversies around that player, the Baltimore Ravens have no problem moving on from that player, especially as in the past, they haven't valued highly the wide receiver position. Okay. And so the Odell Beckham factor is that he got a deal coming from outside of the organization. He got the biggest deal the Baltimore Ravens have ever given a wide receiver. And so a home team guy, meaning somebody from inside the franchise, do you think that he's going to ignore the contract that Odell Beckham got? You think he's going to settle for 3 years and 3 years and 30? You think he's going to settle for anything around $10 million? I don't believe so. And that could prompt him to be moved next year. Now, I know this is futuristic, and I'm not really worried about this. This is just an idea, right? So, and the reason why I do videos like this and have ideas like this is because when news is low, this is certainly the off season. There's not been a lot of Baltimore Ravens news or buzz. And, the biggest news we've had this offseason is the Lamar Jackson announcement that he requested a trade. And then it was the Odell Beckham signing. And so that the inner GM thought processes get going. And this is the thought that came up. So let me know, man, what you guys think about this. Could this be uh like the onset for a Rashad Bateman trade? What kind of offer do you think Rashad Bateman is due? Again, Play with it. Play with the idea. Play with, Rashad Bateman's projections, having a true number one type, not number one, but a true number one type beside him. You know, play with your own statistical projections for Rashad Bateman and see what you come up with. And I'm cool with you putting them in the comment section for sure. By the way, I missed the last two videos. I missed putting questions for the GM in the detail section or the description. And so that'll be in there. So if you got questions or comments, man, by all means, put them in there. We'll get them answered live in a video, something like this. Let me know if you guys think that I'm losing my mind with the OBJ factor prompting a Rashad Bateman trade in 2024, or do you think that this is certainly a possibility? Listen, I appreciate you guys. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell on the way out the door. I'm your guy Boulanger. This is the GM, and I am out.